Welcome to the Love, Sex and Freedom podcast. This is where you're going to discover how to bring awakening into the body and into everyday life through powerful tantric teachings. Get ready to release, open and step into your true power.
One thing you need to realize is that with ChatGPT and all of the information that's available on ChatGPT, it's really easy just to get ChatGPT to write your content. And that's not going to get you to the place that you need to be in terms of the frequency that you're sending out for clients to come to you. It's okay to get ChatGPT to polish it up, to correct it. You know, I use it. It's such a fucking time saver for menial tasks and for proofreading and editing. But it's your authenticity that is always going to speak to people the loudest. Like I just did a post a few days, a week ago or something, and I was aspecting with Matisse, which for those of you who haven't explored that practice yet, it's when you put someone on the cushion and you go back and forth and talk. And we were having a tricky situation. By the way, he's in bed with lots of aches and pains and emotional stuff moving. Hopefully it's just that and he's not sick, but that's why he's not here. And when I got into his seat, he said to me, and I was being him, you know, I just need some peace for a few days. I just need to not talk about anything. And after that, I wrote a post about, and then I did that. And he just opened so quickly and came to me. But before that, I was really attached to him communicating with me about this and resolving, which never works, FYI, for the masculine in men and women. You just got to let go and allow instead of trying to force things. So I wrote this carousel about men needing peace, and it's got 1.7 million views and a ridiculous 9 or 10,000 shares and saves. It's gone crazy. And all of my posts that go viral or get lots and lots of views and engagement are the ones that come from the deep mining of my heart, willingness to see things from another person's point of view, shadow work, and opening into my own pleasure, joy, expansion, and alignment. So right after you do a process, right after a tricky situation that supported liberation, right after a moment of ecstasy when you're on top of the world. And please don't be one of those Tantra practitioners who get in your bathers and do a reel and move around and you will get more views whenever it's about sexuality. If it's authentic, great. But please don't be one of those that I look at and go, really? Really? We all know what I'm talking about? Do we all know what I'm talking about? Okay, great. Half
of my plans for this.
Oh, I just ruined it for you, Lorinda. You were going to just get online and do this. So, in Tantra, of course, sexuality is part of what we are transmitting. But what are we transmitting? Are we transmitting performance? Are we transmitting trying to get likes? You can tell the difference, right? Between people who do that and I don't know who follows me, but you'll probably notice that I don't do that. And I don't get on stories and with looking at me going and sucking something or, because it's not, if I'm really feeling that, would I really get a camera out? If you're really in your sensual bliss and pleasure, would you? It's how I say, don't speak about the fire, be the fire. So don't exploit sexuality. Feel your authentic sexual essence. And I'm telling you now, when pleasure's truly running through your body, the last thing you're going to want to do is hold up a phone, right? So let your stories inspire people to live a better life. Let your posts speak to the heart of people through your uniqueness. The world is flooded now with coaches and healers. Right now is more of an important time than ever to connect with the spark of your unique message and deliver that. And whenever I write a post, I'm never thinking about how many views and this and that I'm getting. Of course, I get happy if it's like, I'm like, Jesus Christ, that's pretty cool when something goes nuts, or especially if I'm not expecting it. Like sometimes you might create content and think, that's just going to, you feel so good about it. You're like, it changed your life. You think it's going to change someone else's life. And it's like, oh, right. That didn't get much engagement. And then like that post about men wanting peace, I really did not think it was that amazing. And yeah, it just went, and I can't be fucked getting photo shoots and doing reels anymore. So I said to the woman doing my social media who you met, Elise, I said, can you just like create images of Tisa and I without needing us by any chance? And she actually got AI to create an image of Tisa and I that actually is really beautiful and soft. And it's like that, it was one of those images, and we'd used them before, was one of those images where the post went viral. So also why? Because my authenticity was, I don't want to spend time anymore like getting filmed and having photo shoots. I've been doing that so much. I'm just over it. And I'm like, and Elise said, if it's not you won't get as much engagement. I'm like, you know what? I don't give a fuck. And then, of course, we got more engagement. So what you think is not where it's at. Aligning with your spirit, aligning with your joy, aligning with your integrity, aligning with your truth. That's what's always going to lead to the most success, like true success, where you're in your ease making money. I have never made so much money in my life, and I'm doing so much less than ever and living in more alignment than ever. There's a magical thing called the bioelectromagnetic field of the universe, where energy is real. And even though you think you can be on your phone all day and then write about embodiment and succeed because ChatGPT's written something for you or you've done something really clever, it ain't going to happen because people will feel it. And I know people who have succeeded for a brief amount of time, 3 months, 6 months, a year, because they're hot enough or they've got the right content enough or the right marketing people, but eventually they don't fly because this work is about transmission. And people will feel your level of embodiment. So how much are you receiving life? How much are you truly receiving life? How much are you working on the main aspects of your inner world that you know are not serving you anymore? Should we take a breath and die again? Let's do that every day. Okay, receive. Exhale, die. So, doesn't that feel good? Inhale, receive. Exhale, die. And if you're in a partnership and you want an advanced practice, let the relationship die every morning. I've done that for the past 15 years. When my mentor said it to me, I just did it. I'm like, oh, wow, that's amazing. And don't do it if it doesn't resonate with you. But where you're overly attached, where you're not willing to let your identity die, or constructs die, or labels die, including partnership, if you're not willing to let go of something and you're grasping onto it and depending on it, it doesn't mean that you can't have interdependence and feel safe and love your relationship. But if you need it for your safety, if you need it for your joy, if you need it to complete you, it's actually never going to be consistently easeful and celebratory. Like relationships ought to be consistently easeful and celebratory. That doesn't mean shit doesn't come up, but that the most consistent thread is ease and celebration. And what that is a reflection of is your own life being in consistent ease and celebration. So back to the morning session with Chantelle, what is out of alignment with your ease and joy? And can you trust enough to release whatever is not? And a part of that is looking at your addictions and not focusing on them as something that you need to quit, but going to the root cause. And whatever your addiction is will tell you a lot about what you need. If you're addicted to something that creates a certain feeling, you're needing that feeling. Can you create that naturally? That's one level. The other level, or the bad habit, whatever you want to call it. And then the other level of it is, can I be with what this addiction, whether it's working, socials, alcohol, whatever it is, whatever that's supporting me to avoid, can I be with that? And then do the hard work of being with that. Do an experiment for a week of removing whatever it is that you know is starting to get dysfunctional and just see what happens. See if you can be with what arises in the absence of that. Yeah? And always ask your clients about their addictions, about their bad habits, because that's really useful data. And another thing I'll say is, like, there's often in this line of work, there's a lot of focus on, I want to claim myself a space, I want to express in the world. I never had any trouble with that. What I had trouble with is leaning back and being okay with not expressing, actually. Just deeply listening to myself. So, and if you have someone, when you're giving them a session, who keeps talking in the activation phase, somehow they have found safety through expression. And they're the people who are stars, you know, in some way. They shine brightly and they claim their space and they express. But a lot of those times, those people don't actually know that it's safe to listen. Safe to listen to their environment, listen to themselves, drop in. So, as you know, often, you know, Chantelle was asking me, what do you do when someone's talking in the activation phase? It's like, okay, just stop, breathe. It's safe to just listen to my guidance and to listen to what's happening in your body. It's safe to listen. Because it's not safe to listen and be quiet in some households, especially Italian ones. It's like, what's wrong with you? What are you doing? Like, put on this performance, put on that performance. Mum used to get my sister and I to sing and dance all the time, and it's great. Like, she celebrated our expression. But also, I always felt this obligation in social situations to be the entertainer. And then, like, you know, my conditioning around being of service led to certain patterns there. So you want to have a look at undoing a lot of that stuff that you've been conditioned to believe is your role.
Thanks for listening to the Love, Sex and Freedom podcast. For more great free resources, in-person and online workshops, and our retreats, find us on Instagram and Facebook at Embodied Awakening Academy or visit embodiedawakeningacademy.com.